Huntingburg officials are looking into a new citywide recycling program. More on that. Plus, OFS Brands and the University of Evansville have announced a new partnership. And Spencer County Purdue Extension educator Larry Demmett is tonight's guest on Inform. All of that and much more is up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. We begin tonight with tragedy as a Ferdinand truck driver was found dead early yesterday morning on Detroit's west side. Reports say 31-year-old Mike Beglin was shot and his truck was set on fire near Junction and McGraw Streets at 2:30 yesterday morning. Beglin had been delivering aluminum coils from Alaris Rolled Products to a Detroit-based ThyssenKrupp steel plant. Detroit police found 5 spent shell casings at the scene. Authorities say robbery is a possible motive in this case. Beglin's wife Ashley reportedly last spoke with him around midnight as he crossed into Michigan en route to Detroit. The Wayne County Medical Examiner says Beglin died from multiple gunshot wounds. A fund for Beglin's family is being established through German American Bank. Indiana State Police have found the vehicle belonging to a Crawford County man wanted on murder charges in connection with a Monday triple shooting in Paoli. State Police say the red and gray 1991 Dodge truck belonging to 35-year-old John Robert Carpenter of Marengo was found in some woods about 1 mile east of New Amsterdam in Harrison County at around 9:30 last night. Carpenter is wanted on murder charges in Orange County in connection with Monday's shooting that left 56-year-old Nicholas Fields and 25-year-old Corey Michael Harris dead. 29-year-old Daniel Smithson is still at University of Louisville Hospital with a gunshot wound to the mouth. State police say various tips and information they received led them to the woods near New Amsterdam last night. After the truck was found, K-9 units from both the Jasper and Evansville districts conducted extensive searches of the area trying to find Carpenter. Police were not successful and Carpenter remains at large. Carpenter's truck was secured and impounded at a secure location. Crime scene technicians were expected to search the truck for additional clues today. Police are also looking for 36-year-old James Davidson, who is still at large. Davidson is wanted for murder as a third suspect in this case. As we previously reported, Carpenter and Davidson are both considered armed and dangerous by police and should not be approached if seen. Anyone with information regarding either man's whereabouts is asked to call the Indiana State Police Jasper Post at 482-1441. Callers may remain anonymous. State Police wish to thank those who have given them information on this case thus far. They are hopeful that the community will continue to be involved. A citywide recycling program may soon be on its way to Huntingburg. Last night, the Huntingburg City Council voted to take a closer look at costs of a citywide program and the best ways to put such a program in place. Now, Paul Vogel Jr. with Monster Recycling presented his plan during last night's meeting. Under the plan presented, each house in Huntingburg would get a recycling bin. The bins would cost a resident $12.50, and that would be a one-time charge. That charge is one area that the city is looking into, as council members could seek state grants to fund the bin costs. Additional bins would also be made available by the city for purchase if residents would like to have more than one bin. There is also a $2 monthly service charge. Pickup of recycling would be weekly, thus amounting to a 50-cent charge per pickup. Huntingburg Mayor Denny Spenner says the next step is to iron out the details of such a plan.
What the council has instructed us to do is to have a meeting with Mr. Vogel, with our city attorney, with our clerk treasurer, and determine exactly what those costs might be, and return to them with some proposals, some options on how we might fund this idea. Again, the citizens spoke in our survey that this is something they'd be interested in, and the council will be taking those items under consideration and within our next meetings.
Now, you don't have to sort out your own recyclables, but only certain items will be accepted. Monster Recycling would run the system on a strike policy. The first time you put unapproved recyclables into a bin, a note is left explaining what is and isn't accepted. The second offense would garner a warning, and Monster would take the bin back after the third offense. If folks move out of the Huntingburg area, the bins can be returned for a refund of the $12.50 charge. Monster Recycling also has a contract with the town of Ferdinand along with several other communities to run their recycling programs. Also last night, a citizen approached the council with a unique concern. The citizen told the council they were notified about an unapproved pet on their property. The animal in question, a young pot-bellied pig. The citizen requested a change to the city's animal ordinance to allow for pot-bellied pigs. The city ordinance currently does not allow for them. The pig in question is mostly kept indoors, though it is in a fenced-in yard when kept outside. Pot-bellied pigs are not known to be aggressive animals when approached by humans. Spinner says he will do some research to see if a change to the city ordinance is necessary.
After much discussion by the council, I've been instructed to research the issue further, and we will be coming back to the council with an idea on what other cities do in this case, and allow them to discuss the issue further and decide whether or not this is an ordinance we would like to have in our city.
The council voted to allow the pig to be kept for the next 30 days while research is being done. The council will then come back next month to determine if the animal could be kept and what regulations should be put in place. Now, Ferdinand already has an ordinance allowing pot-bellied pigs to be kept as pets. Staying in Huntingburg, OFS Brands has announced a new partnership with the University of Evansville to provide 2 new scholarships for the benefit of U of E students from Du Bois County. During a press conference held at the OFS Brands facility this afternoon, OFS Brands President and CEO Hank Menke announced the creation of the OFS Brands Endowed Scholarship and the Phyllis and Robert H. Menke Sr. Du Bois County Endowed Scholarship. The 2 scholarships were made possible through a $2.1 million gift from the Menke family to the university. The Menke Scholarship was named in honor of OFS Brands founder Robert H. Menke Sr. and his wife Phyllis. Robert Menke Sr. passed away back in 2008. Now, both of the scholarships are set to be awarded annually. The Robert H. Menke Scholarship will go to an underclassman, undergraduate student at the University of Evansville who went to high school in Du Bois County and who demonstrates financial need. Meanwhile, the OFS Brands Scholarship will give preference to an OFS Brands employee or a child independent of an OFS employee. Second preference will go to a graduate of a Du Bois County high school, and third preference would be for any University of Evansville student. Hank Menke says his family's involvement with the scholarships is a great thing. He says the scholarships highlight just how important a 4-year college degree is to getting a job after college.
The pressure today on just the employees coming into our workforce today and having a college degree is becoming even more critical than ever before. I mean, this is not the days of all of our industries, Kimball, Master Brands, Jasper Engines, us, Best Chairs. It's requiring higher levels of degrees, and a 4-year degree today is very, very extremely important.
Meanwhile, University of Evansville President Tom Casey says financial aid is a very important part of what the university does. He says Du Bois County has played a big part in U of E's success.
If you were thinking about an area of the country that is prime for us, it's this part of Indiana, partly because we have a very solid and well-deserved reputation in the area. It's not too far away. It's far enough away so that you don't feel like you're at home, but it's not too far away that you can't go home for a weekend or go home and write a paper, study for a test, have a home-cooked meal, whatever you might want. So it's really perfect for us.
Those on hand also got to hear perspective from a current U of E student and Du Bois County native. Bethany Beglin, who graduated from Forest Park High School in 2013, told those on hand a bit more about her experiences thus far. Beglin, who will be a sophomore this upcoming year, says after visiting U of E, she couldn't see herself going anywhere else.
It's more than just an experience of college. It's an enlightenment, it's an enrichment. It's been a home, and not just a second home or a place for learning. It's been my actual home, and I can't wait to move back in the fall.
Beglin is majoring in visual communications at U of E. She is one of 76 students who graduated from Du Bois County high schools who are currently enrolled at the university. In all, more than 500 U of E alumni currently live and work in Du Bois County. Eligible students will begin getting the scholarships in 2015. A plea hearing has been set for a Pike County man accused of shooting and killing his estranged girlfriend at a Winslow residence last fall. The hearing for 32-year-old Christopher Morton is set for Wednesday, July 30th in Warwick County Circuit Court. Morton was arrested back on October 30th of last year after he shot and killed 24-year-old Kelsey McDonald in the living room of her home in the 100 block of South Bluff Street in Winslow. The arrest came just 1 week after he had been released from prison following a conviction for battery on McDonald. Morton is facing a Class A felony for murder and a Class D felony for neglect of a dependent. Morton and McDonald's 3-year-old daughter was at the residence when the shooting occurred, but she was not injured. Morton's attorneys have already entered a not guilty plea on the neglect charge. Morton's trial had previously been set to start on July 29th, but his attorneys and Warwick Superior Court Judge Keith Meyer hammered out a tentative agreement for Morton to take part in the July 30th plea hearing. Morton thus waived his right to a July 29th trial by making the agreement. Pike County Prosecutor Darren McDonald says the deal will be taken off of the table if it is not a final plea. He cited the recent appeals of Chris Helsley and Kelly Craig years after their sentencings as the reasoning for his stance. Meyer is presiding over this case due to Pike County Circuit Court Judge Jeff Biesterfeld having a conflict of interest in the case. Biesterfeld filed unrelated charges against Morton while he served as Pike County's prosecutor. New leadership is now in place at Crane Naval Surface Warfare Center. Captain Jeffrey Elder assumed command of NSWC Crane during a ceremony that took place at 10 o'clock this morning. Elder is replacing Colonel Alan Pratt. Pratt retired from the military after 30 years of service. Pratt is the only Marine who served as Crane's commander. Captain Elder previously served as the military director in Air 4.2. Air 4.2 is the cost and analysis department within the NAV Air 4.0 Research and Engineering Company. He has also served as a Secretary of Defense Corporate Fellow. He originally joined the acquisition community in 2002 after he became an aerospace engineering duty officer. Captain Elder is a native of St. Louis, Missouri. He originally got his commission in August of 1989 and his gold wings in August of 1990. He and his wife Cynthia have 4 children. Now, Crane currently has about 3,000 civilian employees and is the third largest employer in southern Indiana. The base contributes more than $2 million a day into the area economy. The base covers nearly 100 square miles, making it one of the largest naval installations worldwide. Finally this evening, Indiana conservation officers are investigating the possible drowning of an Orleans man. They say an Amish man died in a private pond off of Rigo-Millersburg Road near Orleans last night. Just after 8:30 p.m., conservation officers responded to the 1600 block of Rigo-Millersburg Road after 21-year-old Daniel Bontrager had reportedly jumped from a small boat and attempted to swim to shore. Authorities say about 15 others who were swimming with Bontrager managed to pull him from the bottom of the pond in approximately 10 feet of water and initiate CPR. He was pronounced dead at IU Health Hospital in Paoli shortly before 9 o'clock last night. The Orange County Sheriff's Department and Orange County EMS assisted conservation officers at the scene. This incident remains under investigation. Authorities say Bontrager was not wearing a life jacket at the time of the incident. All right, coming up after the break, your local forecast, sports with Kurt Guxell, and Inform with Larry Dimmitt. That's all up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Local people watching local people.